This is a vlog about questions that are normally asked. I'm going to give you a straight answer, and some may not like it, but it is my truth. It's based on my life. So it might not be the truth for some Filipinas, but there are lots of truth out there, and one of it is what I've experienced. Hope you like this vlog. Why do you speak English and not Tagalog, as in the Filipino language? If you're new to my channel, my content is about mental health, physical and spiritual health awareness, and I want to be as inclusive as possible, which means I want to reach everybody in the world. I promote healing through nature and animals, and the importance of grounding or earthing. It's also a personal preference, guys, that I don't like subtitles. You know, for me as a viewer, I view a lot of vlogs from YouTube too, and I don't like it when I have to read subtitles. So I'm trying to make my channel also English so that everybody can understand without reading subtitles. What are the 2 books that changed your life? 5 to 10 years ago, guys, I was a sucker for books. I love Paulo Coelho. I think I read maybe 9 or 10 of his books. The book that changed my life is Veronica Decides to Die. I can relate to it, guys, because it's about this. It's actually Paulo Coelho's life when he was younger. Like, his parents thought that he's mentally ill, because nobody can understand his way of thinking. Because when you're conditioned when you were little that you should think like this, you should be doing this, and then when you become an adult, it's like you're conflicted to what you've been conditioned to. And sometimes it's like, for example, I was born into a Catholic family, and when I was an adult, it's like all the teaching of this religion, like there's a lot of questions. I feel like I'm going crazy because in my own experience, it doesn't align with who I am as a person. At the moment, I am into audiobooks, so it's Untethered Soul. It is by Michael Singer, and it is about awareness that your thoughts are not always healthy for you. And it made me realize, you know, when you're addicted to negative thinking, it will take a toll on you. I think it is like a light bulb in my consciousness. It made me realize a lot of things, guys, that you have to be aware of what you're thinking, if it's healthy for you or not. It's dangerous when you believe everything you think. If you have an advice to your younger self, what would it be? Guys, my answer to that is, future Donna, I'll tell you, if you want a proper advice about life, then you need to go to the professionals. And what I mean about this is that, for example, we don't all have relational intelligence. There's a lot of kinds of intelligence out there: emotional, intellectual, and there's also relational. Most of us who came from a dysfunctional family or imbalanced family. When I say dysfunctional, it's a toxic environment. It's like there's a lot of shouting, there's a lot of negativity inside the house. When I mean imbalance, is you grew up only with a father, or you grew up with only a mother. When I say imbalance, you didn't see how it is like for 2 partners, male-female or male-male, female-female. You haven't seen the healthy relationship. How does 2 people create a healthy space? Like, how do they relate to each other? That's what I meant. And you need to listen to advices from professionals because, for example, child psychologists, most of our wounds and traumas came from when we were children. When it's unhealed, it's like you're in a 40-year-old body, but because you have unhealed trauma wounds from your childhood, your brain still functions like you were in a child because there's a disconnect there. There's a lot of articles out there about, these issues, adult issues, relationship issues, especially here in YouTube, about how to deal. You just have to search or type the word in YouTube, how to deal with traumas, for example, how to have a healthy relationship with your partner, for example. You just have to type in YouTube. So guys, I'm going to share with you these people. You can follow them in YouTube or in Facebook. If you think you need help with relationship advice, not only romantic relationship, also with family dynamics and friend social dynamics. And I tell you, it will change your outlook in life. And if there's a disconnect about why you have troubles with relationship, it stems with childhood trauma. By listening to these people, you will understand yourself and you will be a better person, and you will be a better lover, a better sister, a better daughter or son, or just plainly a better human being. So my bottom line, my friends, is that I discovered that the best thing we can do for ourselves is listen to people who already study the brain. What I'm trying to say, guys, it's not the age, it's the knowledge and experience. And when I say older people, guys, people who are older than us 20-30 years ago, some of them have limiting beliefs. For example, nowadays, if you have postpartum depression, you really need that therapy, or you need a medical help, because sometimes it's just an imbalance of hormones. Because when you're pregnant, all your nutrients are given to your baby. That means the mother is going to have less nutrients than usual. So there's gonna be a hormonal imbalance when we give birth. People who were an adult 20-30 years ago, there's no postpartum depression. The advice they will give you was what they were given during their days. Oh, you have a depression, just deal with it. You're a mom. You're supposed to do this way because you chose to be a mom. You're supposed to be strong because you're a mom. But these days, it's a full-on problem that can be fixed through diet, through therapy, and this is only because it has been studied, guys. It's like every year psychology, medicine has been upgraded. So that means every year there's a new way of solving problems. I meant no disrespect to people older than me, but it's just the limiting beliefs that doesn't work nowadays, because there are better ways of solving problems now than 50 years ago. In a nutshell, I will tell my younger self, Donna, be mindful of the people who you ask advice from. What is the best thing about traveling? When I was younger, I was very fortunate to be with someone who traveled the world very cheap, because he used to work at Emirates, so that means he's got cheap tickets, so we can afford that lifestyle, not because he was rich. I'm the type of person who observes a lot, especially people, and oh my gosh, it made me a better person in a way, because when you travel and see the difference of people, of how they are, it makes you more open-minded. Like, for example, you can compare how you are to these different cultures, and you understand your culture and other people's culture. especially when you know the history of the country. In some country, guys, nobody really cares what you're doing. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but don't you want to be someone who gives a positive energy to other people? It's like, don't you want to brighten someone else's day? Even saying one little positive thing to a stranger means a lot. For example, oh, I love your lipstick. Oh, I love your shoes. I want to have that blouse or dress. These little things, it might be little, but some people need that little bit of magic just to sometimes make their day better. Last year I was really in a dark place, and I used to walk in the lake every morning, especially during the height of pandemic. There was a time that I thought my husband had COVID, and that time there was no cure, and oh my gosh, I felt like my anxiety is like making me feel so bad. Every time I walk at the lake, someone always says hi to me, and believe it or not, it's like somebody telling you, hi, it's okay. And now that I'm older, I realize that smiling and saying hi to someone it's like giving your light to someone, giving a positive energy to someone. I want to pass that on to you, because it's such a small thing to some people, but people like me who was in a dark place that time, it only took one or two person who said hi to me to at least made my mood better. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, it's enough, guys. What is a common misconception about marrying a white man? Now, for this question, I need a truth serum. Well, when I was younger, I had short-term and long-term relationship with, let me see, with a Canadian guy, British guy, an American guy, with an Australian guy, and all of them have one thing in common: credit card. And when you say credit card, from the word credit, I don't have to define that. When I was very young, like 16 or 17, I always liked blue-eyed guys, and I said when I grow up, I'm gonna marry a blue-eyed man. So that's what I did. I tried to find the perfect blue-eyed guy. That was my motivation. It's for like chemistry, compatibility, love, companionship. That was my reason. And I only dated guys who are 1 year or 2 older than me. I never was attracted to older men. So that means these people are, like working like normal people. To be honest with you, this question is so triggering for me, so I have to drink wine. Anyway, I will answer this truthfully, and this is based on the psychologist which specializes in relationship therapy, where when we date, we subconsciously and unsubconsciously make the common mistake, which is the imposter syndrome, which is sometimes we put on a face or our best foot forward just to be liked. It's like sometimes we're aware of it and sometimes we're not. And we study our potential mate or the potential partner, what they like or what's the best bait for them to love us. So we will tell them sometimes a white lie, sometimes over exaggerate things. We all did it. It's part of human nature. Sometimes we're consciously doing it and sometimes we're not aware of doing it. And this is the truth. Please consider liking or sharing this vlog if you find it helpful or it resonated with you. Light and love.